win the first hour of your morning, and you quietly win the rest of your day. Starting your morning like a Stoic is not about following a complicated routine or forcing yourself into perfection, but about building a mindset of clarity, discipline, and control from the very first moment you wake up. Because how you begin your day shapes how you think, how you act, and how you respond to everything that follows. And most people lose this advantage immediately by checking their phone, reacting to notifications, or letting random thoughts and distractions take over their mind. And without realizing it, they begin their day in a reactive state, where they're already being controlled by external things instead of controlling themselves. But when you choose to start your morning like a Stoic, you take back that control. You begin your day with awareness, with intention, and with purpose. And the first thing you remind yourself is that you are in control of your actions, not everything around you. Because this single thought creates a powerful shift. It removes unnecessary stress about things you cannot control and directs your focus toward what actually matters, which is your effort, your discipline, and your response to situations. And as you sit with this thought, even for a few minutes, your mind becomes calmer and more focused. And instead of rushing into the day, you begin to prepare for it mentally. And this preparation is what gives you an edge, because you are not just waking up physically. You are waking up mentally. And as part of this process, you also remind yourself that challenges will come, that people may test your patience, that situations may not go as planned, but you decide in advance that you will remain calm, that you will not react emotionally, and that you will handle everything with clarity. And this mental rehearsal is powerful because it prepares you for reality instead of leaving you surprised by it. And when challenges actually appear later in the day, you're already ready for them. And this keeps you stable while others lose control. And as you continue your morning routine, you also focus on discipline, because Stoics believe that discipline is the foundation of a strong life. And this means doing what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it, whether it's getting out of bed on time, avoiding distractions, or starting your work without delay. And each small disciplined action in the morning strengthens your mindset, because it proves that you are in control of your behavior. And this builds confidence, not through words, but through action. At the same time, you avoid unnecessary noise. You do not immediately expose your mind to social media, news, or opinions, because you understand that your mind is most vulnerable in the morning, and whatever you consume first can influence your thoughts for the rest of the day. So instead, you protect your mental space. You give yourself time to think clearly, to plan your day, and to focus on what truly matters. And this creates clarity, because you are not overwhelmed by information or distractions. You're focused on your priorities. And as you move forward, you also remind yourself to take action, because thinking alone is not enough. And this is where most people fail. They plan their day but do not execute it. But when you adopt the Stoic mindset, you understand that action is everything, and you commit to taking at least one meaningful step toward your goals, no matter how small. And this creates momentum, and momentum makes everything easier, because once you start moving, it becomes easier to continue. And over time, this habit of starting your morning with intention, discipline, and action create a powerful transformation, because your days are no longer random, they are structured. Your mindset is no longer reactive, it is controlled, and your progress is no longer inconsistent. It becomes steady, and this consistency is what leads to growth. And as days turn into weeks and weeks into months, you begin to see the results of this approach, not just in your work, but in your mindset, your confidence, and your ability to handle life. Because you're no longer someone who wakes up and reacts to the world. You become someone who wakes up and prepares to face it with strength. And this is the true power of starting your morning like a Stoic. It is not about doing more. It is about thinking better, acting with discipline, and maintaining control. And when you do that consistently, you do not just improve your mornings, you transform your entire life. Fire when you truly commit to starting your morning like a Stoic. You begin to understand that the real goal is not just to wake up early or follow routine, but take full control of your mind before the world gets a chance to influence it. Because the moment you wake up, your mind is in a very sensitive and impressionable state. And whatever you feed it first, whether it is stress, distractions, or negativity, can shape your entire day. And most people make the mistake of immediately reaching for their phone, checking messages, scrolling through social media, and reacting to outside information. And without realizing it, they're allowing external noise to dictate their thoughts, their mood, and their focus. But Stoic approach is completely different. Instead of reacting to the world, you pause, you stay still for a moment, and you bring your awareness inward. You give yourself time to think clearly before anything else enters your mind, and this small act creates a powerful sense of control, because you're no longer starting your day in a rushed or distracted state. You are starting it with clarity and intention, and as you sit with your thoughts, you begin to remind yourself of what truly matters. You focus on your responsibilities, your priorities, and the actions you need to take, and this creates direction, because your mind is no longer scattered, it is focused, and this focus helps you avoid wasting time on unnecessary things. And as you continue this practice daily, you begin to notice that your mornings feel more peaceful, your thoughts become more organized, and your actions become more intentional. And this intention carries throughout your day, because when you start with clarity, it becomes easier to stay disciplined, and at the same time, you begin to reduce mental clutter, because you're not filling your mind with random information or distractions early in the morning. Instead, you are creating space for meaningful thinking, and this space allows you to plan your day more effectively, to set clear goals, and to prioritize what is important. And over time, this habit becomes a powerful foundation for productivity, because you're no longer reacting to tasks randomly. You are approaching them with a clear and focused mindset. And this difference may seem small at first, but it creates a huge impact over time, because consistent clarity leads to consistent action, and consistent action leads to real progress. And this is how starting your morning with awareness and control can completely change the direction of your life. As you continue strengthening the Stoic morning habit, you begin to build a deeper level of discipline, because you are no longer depending on motivation to start your day. You are creating a system that guides your actions regardless of how you feel. And this is important because most people struggle with inconsistency. They feel motivated some days and lazy on others, and this emotional fluctuation affects their productivity and progress. But when you remind yourself every morning that you will do what needs to be done, regardless of your mood, you begin to break this pattern. You train your mind to act with discipline instead of emotion, and this creates consistency, which is one of the most important factors for success. And as you continue practicing this, you also begin to build self-trust, because every time you follow through on your morning intentions, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, and this reliability builds confidence, not the kind that depends on external validation, but the kind that comes from knowing that you can depend on yourself. And this self-trust becomes a powerful advantage, because it allows you to take on bigger challenges without hesitation. And at the same time, your mornings begin to feel more purposeful, because you're no longer just going through the motions. You are intentionally preparing yourself for the day, mentally and emotionally, and this preparation helps you handle situations better, because you are not caught off guard by stress or distractions. You're already grounded and focused, and over time, this creates a sense of control over your life, because you are not just reacting to events as they happen. You are actively shaping your day from the very beginning. And this control leads to better decisions, better actions, and better results. And as this process continues, you begin to notice that your mornings are no longer just a small part of your day. They become the foundation of your entire routine. And this foundation supports everything else: your productivity, your mindset, your discipline, and your growth. And this is the true power of starting your morning like a Stoic. It is not just about what you do in the morning. It is about who you become by consistently choosing discipline, clarity, and control from the very start of your day. Fire as you continue to practice starting your morning like a Stoic. You begin to develop a powerful sense of emotional control, because one of the biggest advantages of a strong morning routine is that it prepares you mentally for the challenges ahead. And instead of being surprised or overwhelmed by situations, you're already ready to face them with calmness and clarity. And this preparation is what separates a reactive person from a composed one, because most people go into their day without thinking about how they will respond to difficulties. And when something goes wrong, they react instantly. They get frustrated, they lose focus, and their entire mood is affected. But when you take a few moments in the morning to remind yourself that challenges will come and that you will remain calm no matter what, you are building a mental shield that protects your peace throughout the day. And this shield is powerful, because it allows you to stay stable even when things are not going as planned, and instead of reacting emotionally, you respond with logic and control, and this improves your decision-making because your actions are no longer driven by temporary feelings, and over time, this habit creates emotional discipline, which is one of the most important qualities for success, because a person who can control their emotions can stay focused, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and continue making progress even in difficult situations. And as you continue practicing this daily, you also begin to notice that your stress levels decrease because you're not overreacting to every small problem. You learn to let things go, to move on quickly, and to focus on what truly matters. And this ability to stay calm becomes your strength, because while others are easily disturbed by situations, you remain steady, and this steadiness allows you to perform better in every area of your life, making your mornings not just a routine, but a foundation for emotional strength and stability. Another powerful shift that happens when you consistently start your morning like a Stoic is that you begin to take action faster and with more clarity, because your mind is no longer filled with confusion, distractions, or hesitation. Instead, it is focused and prepared, and this preparation allows you to move directly into meaningful work without wasting time. And this is important because one of the biggest reasons people fail to stay productive is that they spend too much time thinking about what to do instead of actually doing it. They delay tasks, they overanalyze, and they wait for the right moment. But when you begin your day with a clear mindset, you remove this hesitation. You already know your priorities, you already know your next step, and this makes it easy to take action immediately. And this early action creates momentum, and momentum is powerful because once you start moving, it becomes easier to continue. And this is how productive days are built, not through bursts of motivation, but through consistent action starting from morning. And as you continue this practice, you also begin to build confidence, because every time you take action early in the day, you prove to yourself that you are disciplined and capable, and this builds self-trust, which is essential for long-term growth. And at the same time, you reduce procrastination because you're not giving yourself time to delay or avoid tasks. You are starting before your mind can create excuses, and this habit becomes a powerful advantage, because while others are still deciding what to do, you're already making progress, and over time, this creates a gap between you and those who remain stuck in indecision. And as this gap grows, your results begin to improve and your confidence increases, and you begin to see the real impact of starting your morning with clarity, discipline, and action, because it does not just improve your mornings, it transforms your entire day, making you more productive, more focused, and more in control of your life. Fire. Another powerful shift that happens when you consistently start your morning like a Stoic is that you begin to take action faster and with more clarity, because your mind is no longer filled with confusion, distractions, or hesitation. Instead, it is focused and prepared, and this preparation allows you to move directly into meaningful work without wasting time. And this is important because one of the biggest reasons people fail to stay productive is that they spend too much time thinking about what to do instead of actually doing it. They delay tasks, they overanalyze, and they wait for the right moment. But when you begin your day with a clear mindset, you remove this hesitation. You already know your priorities, you already know your next step, and this makes it easy to take action immediately. And this early action creates momentum, and momentum is powerful because once you start moving, it becomes easy to continue. And this is how productive days are built, not through bursts of motivation, but through consistent action starting from the morning. And as you continue this practice, you also begin to build confidence, because every time you take action early in the day, you prove to yourself that you are disciplined and capable, and this builds self-trust, which is essential for long-term growth. And at the same time, you reduce procrastination because you are not giving yourself time to delay or avoid tasks. You are starting before your mind can create excuses, and this habit becomes a powerful advantage, because while others are still deciding what to do, you're already making progress, and over time, this creates a gap between you and those who remain stuck in indecision. And as this gap grows, your results begin to improve, and your confidence increases, and you begin to see the real impact of starting your morning with clarity, discipline, and action, because it does not just improve your mornings, it transforms your entire day, making you more productive, more focused, and more in control of your life. Fire, as you go deeper into the practice of starting your morning like a Stoic, you begin to develop a stronger sense of clarity about your priorities. Because instead of waking up and reacting to random tasks, messages, or distractions, you take a moment to decide what truly matters for the day. And this decision becomes your guiding direction. And this is important because without clarity, your energy gets scattered across multiple unimportant activities. And at the end of the day, you feel busy, but not productive. But when you begin your morning with intention, you eliminate this confusion. You identify your most important tasks, and you commit to completing them. And this focus allows you to use your time and energy more effectively, because you're not just working, you're working on the right things. And as you continue this habit, you begin to notice that your productivity increases, not because you're doing more, but because you are doing what matters most. And this creates meaningful progress. And at the same time, this clarity reduces stress, because you're no longer overwhelmed by too many options or decisions. You already know what needs to be done. And this makes your day feel more structured and manageable. And over time, this structured approach becomes a habit, because you train your mind to think in terms of priorities instead of distractions. And this shift is powerful because it allows you to stay focused even when interruptions occur. And as you continue practicing this, you also develop confidence in your decision-making, because you are no longer uncertain or hesitant. You are clear and intentional. And this clarity becomes a major advantage in both your personal and professional life, because it helps you move forward with purpose instead of confusion, making your mornings a strong foundation for focused and effective action. As the Stoic morning discipline becomes part of your daily life, you also begin to experience a deeper sense of inner peace, because you are no longer starting your day in a rushed, chaotic, or reactive state. Instead, you are grounded, calm, and aware, and this calmness allows you to handle situations with more patience and control, because when your mind is peaceful, it is less likely to be disturbed by small problems or unexpected challenges. And this stability becomes one of your greatest strengths, because in a world where most people are constantly distracted and emotionally reactive, the person who remains calm naturally stands out. And this calmness also improves your focus, because your mind is not filled with unnecessary noise. It is clear and directed, and this allows you to concentrate better on your tasks, leading to higher quality work and better results. And at the same time, this inner peace reduces mental fatigue, because you're not wasting energy on overthinking or unnecessary stress. And this preserved energy can then be used for productive activities, making you more efficient throughout the day. And as you continue this practice, you begin to notice that your overall mindset becomes more stable. You're less affected by external situations, less distracted by opinions, and more focused on your own path. And this independence is powerful, because it allows you to move forward without constantly being influenced by what is happening around you. And over time, this combination of calmness, focus, and independence create a strong and balanced mindset, which not only improves your performance, but also enhances your quality of life, because you're no longer just chasing productivity. You are building a state of mind that supports both success and peace. And this is a true essence of starting your morning like a Stoic, not just to do more, but to become more controlled, more focused, and more at peace with yourself and your journey. Fire. As you consistently follow the Stoic way of starting your morning, you begin to build patience, which becomes one of the most underrated yet powerful strengths in your life. Because in today's fast-paced world, most people are in a constant hurry. They want quick results, instant success, and immediate rewards. And when things do not happen as fast as they expect, they become frustrated, lose motivation, and often give up. But when you begin your day with a calm and disciplined mindset, you remind yourself that real progress takes time. And this understanding changes your entire approach to work and life, because instead of chasing fast outcomes, you start focusing on steady improvement. You begin to value consistency over intensity, and this shift allows you to stay committed even when results are not visible yet. And this is where most people fail. They quit before their efforts have time to produce results. But when you develop patience, you keep going, and over time, your small daily actions begin to compound into something powerful. And this compounding effect creates real growth, because while others are constantly starting and stopping, you are continuously building. And at the same time, Patience also helps you handle setbacks better because you understand that difficulties are part of the process, not the end of it. And this mindset keeps you stable during challenging times, allowing you to stay focused instead of getting discouraged. And as you continue this practice, you also become more disciplined because patience and discipline work together. Patience keeps you committed to the long term, and discipline ensures that you take the necessary actions every day. And this combination is what leads to meaningful success. And over time, you begin to see that starting your morning with calmness, clarity, and patience does not just improve your day. It transforms your entire approach to life, making you more consistent, more resilient, and more focused on long-term growth as all these Stoic morning practices come together. Control of thoughts, emotional calmness, discipline, clarity, action, patience, and focus. You begin to experience a complete transformation in the way you live your life, because you're no longer waking up and reacting to whatever comes your way. You are waking up with purpose, with intention, and with control. And this control gives you a powerful advantage, because while others are distracted, overwhelmed, or inconsistent, you remain steady, focused, and disciplined, and this difference may not seem significant in a single day, but over time, it creates a massive gap, because small disciplined mornings lead to productive days lead to consistent progress, and consistent progress leads to long-term success. And as you continue this journey, you also develop a strong sense of self-trust, because every time you follow your morning routine, every time you stay disciplined, and every time you take action despite not feeling like it, you prove to yourself that you are reliable, and this builds confidence, not based on external validation, but based on your own actions. And this inner confidence becomes your strength because it allows you to face challenges, take risks, and keep moving forward without fear. And at the same time, you experience a deeper sense of peace because you're no longer controlled by distractions, emotions, or outside opinions. Your mind is stable, your focus is clear, and your actions are aligned with your goals. And this alignment creates a life that feels purposeful and directed. And over time, you realize that starting your morning like a Stoic is not just about improving your routine. It is about transforming your identity. It is about becoming someone who is disciplined, calm, and focused, someone who does not wait for the perfect conditions, but creates progress regardless of circumstances. And this is the true power of this practice, because it does not just change your mornings, it changes who you are. And when you change who you are, your life has no choice but to change with you. And that is how you truly level up, not by doing something once, but by becoming someone who shows up with strength, clarity, and discipline every single day. Fire as you continue living the Stoic way of starting your mornings. You eventually reach a level where it is no longer something you force yourself to do, but something that becomes a part of who you are, because repetition turns actions into habits, and habits shape identity. And once your identity changes, your behavior follows naturally without resistance. And this is where the real transformation happens, because you're no longer trying to be disciplined. You become disciplined. You are no longer try to stay calm. You naturally remain calm, and you're no longer trying to focus. Your mind automatically avoids distractions. And this shift makes everything easier because you're not constantly fighting yourself. You are aligned with your goals. And this alignment creates a sense of flow in your life, where your thoughts, actions, and intentions are all moving in the same direction. And as you continue this journey, you also begin to notice that your tolerance for unnecessary things decreases. You no longer feel the urge to waste time on meaningless distractions. You do not get involved in unnecessary arguments, and you are not easily affected by opinions or negativity, because your mind has become stronger and more selective. And this selectiveness is powerful because it protects your energy, and your energy is one of your most valuable resources because it determines how much you can achieve in a day. And when you are not wasting it on things that do not matter, you can invest it fully into your goals. And this creates faster and more meaningful progress. And at the same time, you develop a deeper sense of awareness, because starting your mornings with intention trains you to stay aware throughout the day. You begin to notice your thoughts, your reactions, and your habits more clearly. And this awareness allows you to correct yourself quickly whenever you start drifting off track. And this ability to self-correct becomes a major advantage because it keeps you consistent and aligned. And as this continues, you also begin to feel a sense of quiet confidence, not the loud, attention-seeking kind, but a deep, stable confidence that comes from knowing that you are in control of yourself. And this confidence allows you to face challenges without fear because you trust your ability to handle whatever comes your way. And over time, this mindset,